Yo, what's going on, everyone? Before we get into the Bleacher Report show, Green Lawn Fertilizing. They are the best in the business. It is ridiculous how much my lawn has recovered. When we first started, before any treatments happened, my lawn was black dirt. It was literally non-existent. And it has gotten so much better over the first two treatments. I was able to have an outback party on Saturday with about 20, 25 friends or so. They brought their kids running around the lawn. They're kicking the soccer ball, throwing the football. We had music going, cornhole, having some cold ones. It was a nice, solid day at the office, and I wouldn't have been able to do that without Green Lawn Fertilizing helping me out and making my lawn actually look beautiful. We still have some treatments to go, but it is crazy to think about the journey and how much it has clearly improved insanely. And you need to join the Green Lawn Fertilizing family. Let me tell you this. Not only are they experts and extremely knowledgeable in everything they do, not only are they experts in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Delaware, but they are giving you 50% off your first two treatments. I'm going to say it again. 50% off their first two treatments. It's a no-brainer. Get yourself started by clicking the link down below in the description. Make sure your lawn is looking beautiful because it changes everything. My neighbors are asking me what's going on. Dude, this is too beautiful. I know, Green Lawn Fertilizing. It's crazy. Make sure you check it all out down below. It'll tell them that Brodes sent you 50% off your first two treatments. Get started today. Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome on in to Bleacher Report on this Wednesday night. We got the Eagles schedule in the palm of our hands. We got it, baby. Wow. I'm already thinking about a Super Bowl championship run. I am. I'm already thinking about punching the Dallas Cowboys in the face early on, week 1 at the link. It's going to be glorious. Let's talk about these 18 weeks, shall we? We start things off with a huge division rival, Thursday night, 8:20. And yes, Jerry Jones will be in his box looking up at another banner, getting added to the other banner, because that's what we do now. And Jalen, Nick Sirianni, Patullo with the headset on for the first time as he's walking up and down as OC. Saquon, this is going to be magical. I'm not telling you it's going to be gorgeous to a T every single quarter. There may be some kinks that you have to iron out. But the truth is, when you have the target on your back, you've seen it sometimes throughout Tom Brady's regular seasons. You've seen it throughout even stretches of the Kansas City Chiefs when they have the target on their back. Sometimes the regular season looks harsher than it really is. Because when you get it done, you know what winning is like after you get that postseason feel. It's a long season. Your off season is shorter than everybody else's when they're getting rested up. They're going through rehab. They're getting surgeries earlier. They're getting back into, shape and attacking the off season at a different timeline than you are. And then there's reasons why it's very difficult to do what you do. That doesn't mean, and when I say do what you do, I mean go back to back and consistently be in NFC championship games and hosting those NFC championship games. The truth is, this team can and will be a juggernaut in the NFC. It's just going to take time and I don't want to say weirdness, but there's going to be a look about it. That's at least what I'm projecting. Maybe it's a defensive mechanism. I don't know. But I'm basing it off of how they eventually got that defense to form last year, how they got to that identity last season. First quarters were a problem, slow starts, scripted plays, going 3 and out. That stuff was miserable. But then they sort of adapted to who they were supposed to be. And I guess maybe you could make the argument they had to sort of find the path to get to Saquon Barkley heavy And now that you already have that information and you have that knowledge and you know what the offense is capable of doing, then maybe your first quarters do look different because you already have that knowledge in your back pocket. That could be true. I'm ready for a kick-ass season. I'm ready for a run. I'm ready for 13, 14 wins. There's just going to be some uniqueness to the look. Preparing myself for that. So after week 1, you then have to go on the road and go to the Kansas City Chiefs for a 4:25 game September 14th. Bring it on. Bring it on. Big division rival early. Huge. And you can't drop that game. You can't lose that game. And I like the fact that it's so high intensity. It would be anyway. It's day 1 of the NFL season. And you're coming off of doing what you did. So you're already going to be through the damn moon. I don't even think that's a saying. But you're going to be nuts. Pumped up. You're going to be sick in the head. Ready to run out that tunnel. But you get I'm not sure what exactly you're going to get because it's week 1 feel coming off of a preseason. Dak, big injury, even the Cowboys side, new coaching staff. So it's going to be a muck it up style game. Good. Battle tested early. It's going to be uncomfortable because you hate that star. You hate that team. You despise them. And you know how much that game is going to mean to this fan base and the 60,000+ watching in person. It means everything. Because the biggest losers in the history of this planet root for that team. Get it done. And oh, by the way, get it done in Kansas City. That's a difficult start. But you are a special group. And you have special leadership. And these guys talk about the journey. They're very open about it. Well, I'm going to hold them to that standard. I'm going to hold them accountable. AJ fell in love with the journey. Saquon fell in love with the journey. Jalen fell in love with the journey. Mailata fell in love with the journey. Let's go then, baby. Step up. Fall in love with that journey weeks 1 and week 2. So you go to September 21st, week 3. You're going to be able to play in front of your home crowd in front of the LA Rams. Again, yeah, sure, on paper, that seems very harsh. That seems very real. That feels very tough. But do you know what other teams think when they see the Eagles pop up on their schedule release day? Damn, holy hell, that's going to be war. That's going to be gruesome. We're going to be hurting. We're going to be in pain. We're going to have ice bags glued to every single part of my skin. Because they're doing damage every single snap physically, and it's taking a toll. I can't wait to watch this offensive line go to work and see the look on the other team's faces when they're on the sidelines with their helmet next to them. You can just see, yeah, you suck the soul out of them. Every single snap, Lane Johnson. Every single snap, Cam Jurgens. It's awesome to see a team get depleted and defeated through 3 quarters of action. Yo, there's 17 minutes to go. And oh, by the way, you're down by 7. So you got to somehow muster up all this energy to compete and get back in this game when you're this broken down. So let's say they start 2-1. Fair. Maybe you beat Dallas. Not maybe. You do beat Dallas. You beat Kansas City. You're 2-0. You drop 1 against the Rams at home. Okay, you go on the road at a 1 o'clock start and face Tampa Bay. I think it's finally our time to get some revenge for some of these other matchups against Tampa Bay recently, and specifically Jalen Hurts. Because I'm sure that eats him alive. I'm sure he's thinking about it 24/7. Whenever he sees anything related to stupid Tampa Bay, he goes, dude, playoff game? Oh, I hate you, Todd Bowles. And he thinks about what happened last year in the regular season. There's no way his determination and his desire is going to have this group fall in week 4. This is where last year they were able to get a bye and reset if there were any issues. But not the case here. You're rolling into another 1 o'clock start. So that's one of my takeaways is weeks 3, 4, 5. You got a lot of 1 o'clockers. And this time you're at home against Denver. We'll see what the Bo Nix show is all about. That game is sort of like blah for me, if I'm being honest. But when we got some of the leaks, it was Monday night. It was Tuesday. Well, you never know. It was Thursday night. It was Black Friday. It's Monday Night Football. You saw the main prime times. I thought we were due for even more after that. But there are some pretty decent 1 o'clockers. And maybe it's the same every year, but I don't know. For some reason, it sticks out to me, my instant reaction that feels a little bit more 1 o'clocky. But away, home, away, home, away, home, away, home, away, home. It's sort of flip-flopping all the way through the schedule. They start at home. I was just saying that as an example. You get to week 6. You got an 8:15 Thursday night game against the New York Giants. October 9th. Did I say 5th? If I did, I apologize. I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about anymore at this point. Week 6, October 9th, Giants. Brian Dable, loser. I hope they have that dart kid in the action because I want to see Jalen Carter sack him 3.5 times. I mean, there's no way that kid, I saw him on draft night. There's no way that kid scares me a lick. There's no way that guy's ever going to cause concern. Dart? You're telling me the New York Giants get dart? And I actually like some of the things that they did throughout the draft with the defense, Abdul Carter, and even who they selected in the mid-round there. That was somebody who was on the Eagles' potential mocks going at that particular time. So, interesting for sure to beef up some of the trenches. They have Dexter Lawrence, and they have they picked up the fifth-year option. Thibodeau, he's out there as well. Not that he's a world beater, but just another name to add to the mix. It's like we've seen that recipe before. But before anybody says, yeah, Abdul Carter's going to wreck the game wide open, though, you better be prepared. I don't think you get it. You don't get what this offensive line is. You just don't. I've seen them stop the best to ever do it. Consistently. Game after game, year after year, week after week. Jeff Stoutland, he doesn't lose. There's not many times where someone wrecks the game that well. And if it is, it was Jared Verse last year where he showed up a little bit to play. But Abdul Carter's going to have to show something to me prior to what Verse just did in the NFL last season. He showed up after talking that smack, and I respect that. But still, at the end of the day, not enough. And Abdul Carter, there's no way in hell I'm telling you, he's striking fear in my eyes when I see Lane, Mailata, and everybody else that protects this group and protects Jalen and the running back. So after week 6, we go to week 7, and this game is an away game as well. So the first time we're getting back-to-back away games or home games happen to come in game 6 and 7. So October 19th against the Minnesota Vikings, a 1 o'clocker. I think there's always something about seeing the Minnesota Vikings after the 2017 run and the Foles and the Skulls and the things of that nature. So there's always something about punching them in the mouth too, kicking them in the teeth, and always making them feel like they are off to the side at the kids' table. Because every time they think that they're on our level, every time they think that they can really do something different, we got to hit them with a reminder like we did in an NFC championship game where they got pantsed. Straight up jock straps just hanging from all the way up top. Crushed. Nothing like it. And I anticipate the Birds doing that again. At this point, I have them at 1-2, 2-1, 3-1, 4-1, 5-1, 6-1. I have them at 6-1 through 7. You get another divisional game against the Giants. This time at home at 1 o'clock, week 8. So you're telling me that you see the New York Giants twice in a 3-week span. One of them being Thursday Night Football, the other being 1 o'clock on Sunday. And then you start out with the Dallas Cowboys in a very interesting spot. That's a okay type of reaction to the schedule. I think the schedule is all out of whack, if I'm being honest with you. Doesn't feel like there's very good structure or very good flow to it. You're not maximizing a Cowboys-Eagles rivalry game in the middle of the season when both teams can get established a bit, find an identity, create a personality, and then let's say the Eagles are 5-2 through 7 games and the Cowboys are 4-3 through 7 games, and then you get to go toe-to-toe where the game could actually give you something, whereas you see it. What were the Eagles in weeks 1 through 4? And then who were they late in the year? I don't know. I just think that it's such an extreme on who you are. Whereas in the middle of the year, you start to at least learn more about who you are and put yourself to the test. That's sort of how it hits me. But I think it's a lot of New York Giants football in a 3-week span. You have week 9 bye. And you know what? You may not have that much care in the world about the bye and when it is, because last year it was so early and we've seen it bounce around all over the place. But knowing the importance of what last year meant for Nick Sirianni and how he used that bye week to crucially change who you are, and really that's what spun you out into a trajectory to win a Super Bowl. You never know what's going to happen. You could be coming off 2 straight losses. You could be coming off 3 straight losses. You could be coming up on a couple of wins in a row. I don't know. But there's something about that bye week that I already watched under this regime spark a Super Bowl championship run. Not just a good run, not just a fun run, not just a we're proud of you moment. A Super Bowl championship. So week 9, it's just based off of the context on what actually is going down and how the team is playing at the time. Maybe they're desperate and they need it. Maybe they're injured and it could give them an extra week to regroup and re-rest. And maybe that could help out. If someone has an ankle injury, if there was a game on that week 9 weekend, you wouldn't be able to have them. But instead, you kick it back to week 10, and that's a Monday night game, which gives you just a little extra if you just needed it. Every hour can be the difference. Every hour could be a difference in the world for these guys when they're out there on the field. So I'm just making sure it's highlighted, that's all, that this is very, very, very important for this coaching staff. Let's go to week 10. Green Bay, Lambeau Field, coming off the bye. I'm going to chalk this one up as an L just because you have to lose some games, not because I actually think they're going to lose to the Packers. Because when I see the Packers, you know what I think of? Nolan Smith in the playoffs. You know what I think of? Nolan Smith in the playoffs. You know what I think of? Dallas Goedert. How many stiff arms? Not 1, not 2, not 3. It was like 7. Right in the face. He also helped you against the New Orleans Saints beautifully in those first 4 games that maybe would have put you at 1-3 instead of 2-2, and then that bye week feels totally different, and it's a different ending to the year. Dallas Goedert, 170 yards. That's why it's important to bring that guy back. That's why it's important to get him on this team, and credit to Howie Roseman and Goddard for making the whole thing work. So after that loss, they will have 2 losses through 9 games, putting them at 7-2. Sunday Night Football. After Monday Night Football, Detroit. Come on, man. Come on, man. The Lions are going to want to try and prove something from last year that they deserve to be on the same level as us. And for a while they were. Injuries depleted them without a doubt. But you don't have the winning in your blood. You don't have the winning seeping through those walls at your practice facility. You just don't have the DNA. Dallas, week 12, in Dallas. I hate to say this, but I will project a split. I want to throw up. I'm actually nauseous and uncomfortable. But I'll put it in there that there's a split. So that would actually be dropping 2 out of 3 games coming out of the bye, which does feel very unlike Nick Sirianni-ish. But if you power through with the record I thought you were through the first 8 games of the season before you hit your break, all right, you stumble. But that's okay, because this team, you know what? They're going to go through some fair share of internal hiccups. And this just happens to be a time where in those 2 losses coming out of the break, you're on the road and you get hit. Black Friday, 3 o'clock, Chicago Bears. Nick Sirianni's going to teach Ben Johnson a thing or two. Yo, Caleb Williams. That's awesome. Meet Vic Fangio. Meet Vic. I think that's like an absolute domination ass whooping. Belt the ass again, just like we saw with the Super Bowl parade. I think that gets ugly. I actually do like Ben Johnson. I think he is a creative young mind, and he may fit the mold of what some of these organizations have that bring that uniqueness, bring that flair, that fire offensively, and the cute design and all that stuff. And I'm sure it'll be an interesting marriage for a while nationally with him and Caleb Williams to see if he can pull out all the strengths of what Caleb Williams brings to the table. Meet Vic Fangio. Meet Zach Baun. You don't know about Q? Oh, okay. You weren't paying attention last year? Okay. How about Coop? How about at that point in the year, Jahad Campbell making plays all over the field next to an all-pro linebacker? Sign me up for another dub. Chargers on the road. Monday Night Football. So there's a stretch from week 11 to week 14. You have interesting game days. You have Sunday Night Football. You have Friday, Black Friday football in the middle of the afternoon at 3 o'clock. And you follow that up with Monday Night Football at 8:15. So there's a stretch of some higher profile games. Raiders, week 15 at home, blah, December 14th. And here's another questionable decision by the NFL by going with week 16, Washington, week 18, Washington. So just like you saw with the Giants matchups, where you're playing them 2 times in 3 weeks, you're playing the Washington Commanders 2 times in 3 weeks. And by the way, the week 17 game is on the road against Buffalo, December 28th. I'm a little bummed that there's no Christmas game. I was really rooting for a Christmas game. I think that's always fun. We're at the family. You're at the family's place. You're having cold ones. You're kicking it. You're having a good dinner, and you get to put on the Eagles game. Come on, man. Especially when they're this talented. Come on. It's not even a question. I wanted that to happen, but it's going to be cold in Buffalo, December 28th, most likely. And I like that challenge. I don't get the Washington thing. I don't know if Washington's going to be the same team as they were last season. And truth be told, because of what I saw from the Texans quarterback, C.J. Stroud, I can't just automatically assume that Daniels is just going to repeat last season automatically. Teams have more tape. Teams have more knowledge that you're that good, so they enter the game with a different mindset and mentality, and you sort of establish yourself as an NFC championship style of team last year. Now you got the doors blown off you, so you're not as close as the eventual champion. But okay, you showed signs of development. Good for you. I have to see them follow up that season with another one. But I also just don't think that they valued Washington. I want to see them have more juice in that matchup. Week 18 could be a nothing burger. Week 18 could be a nothing. Now, I guess it could be something that could swing standings too. But I could see a world where the Eagles don't have to play week 18 and they can rest their guys and the Commanders need a win. That's how you want to maximize these 2 teams and the storylines heading into the year. Week 16, super late. That's a late start. That's a late jump to see them. And week 18 could be a nothing burger. Now, I do get seeing a divisional opponent late, because if you're both in it, then it will add some fire that you just can't duplicate at all in any other way. I just don't like the way it's structured there. Anyway, that's sort of my thoughts on everything. That's fun, man. That's fun looking through it for the first time and just getting your first gut reaction on how everything flows. It's a dumb schedule, in my personal opinion. Dumb, dumb, dumb. It's a dumb schedule. That's all right. Just take care of business. Take the football field, attack, and get the job done. Those are my instant reaction thoughts to the schedule. Thank you guys all so much for kicking it with me. I greatly appreciate it. I will catch you guys all tomorrow. We will talk more about everything that was released tonight. You guys are the best. Thank you all so much. Go Birds. Talk to you tomorrow.